Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp Blind. We have finished the Orange Star Advance Wars 2 Challenge campaign, which means that most of the content that we have yet to go through is going to be the War Room. And there's still a lot of these maps left, so we basically have a whole additional campaign worth of content. One downside to that is the War Room doesn't really have a story, like the actual campaigns do. And that, as far as I know, there's never really any special objectives or anything. It's basically just a series of special versus matches against CPU opponents. But instead of being perfectly balanced like a typical versus match is, it is stacked in the CPU's favor to varying degrees. All of that said, the War Room maps are fun to do and interesting in their own right. So it's going to be good to go through these. And just looking through here, eventually it's not even going to be 1v1s anymore. It's going to be 1v2s. And sometimes we're going to be facing the most OP COs in the game. So it looks like this is going to get pretty dang hard. Just as a recap, I did do Pivot Isle and Land's End off screen. I didn't do that on purpose. I screwed up the recording for those. I messed up my audio settings and caused them to have an unbearable echo, so I kind of had to throw them away. And since they're just War Room maps, I'm not going to re-record them over again. So sorry about that, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I tried Clone Andy first, because Clone Andy is basically my Advance Wars spirit animal, and I love his little evil smirks and chuckles. But he's not very strong as a CO, so I switched to using Sturm. I'm probably going to be using Sturm and or Hachi for the remainder of these, in the interest of not having to spend the rest of my life doing Advance Wars as an LP, because as much as I love this game, and I have enjoyed it a heck of a lot, and I'm going to continue to enjoy it a heck of a lot, I do have other games I want to do playthroughs of, and don't want to just do an LP of this for the rest of my life. So we'll be using Overpowered Sturm to help expedite our journey through the remaining War Room missions. Okay, all that out of the way, I have found that I really like the red Sturm palette swap. I think that that sort of red look suits him quite well. I guess that's some other shade of red. I'm not an expert at weird color shades. Maybe you could call that burgundy, perhaps. Whatever it is, I like the way he looks in that particular palette swap. Okay, so we're up against Sammy this time. We've never fought against Sammy as an opponent before. She starts out with almost twice as many properties as we do, further underscoring how these matches get more and more unfair as you go, and why I think it's pretty okay to use Sturm to even things out a little bit. We're obviously going to want to capture all this stuff as quickly as we can. Oh, Sammy is apparently feeling aggressive building a lander, which suggests she's going to be going for our properties immediately, which I guess isn't a big surprise, because she doesn't even have that many properties on her own island that start off not under her control. Oh yeah, I guess I might as well at least temporarily turn animations back on. Alright, this'll make things go real fast. There we go. I think that'll be good enough for a capping force. I haven't noticed any airports, so this might be purely a land and naval battle. Okay, well, single infantry, even a Sammy infantry, is not going to be very effective against all the forces that I'm cranking out here on this island. So not too worried about that. One small downside of using Sturm is I like his music, but it is very heavy and aggressive. So it's not going to be quite as dulcet to listen to as, say, Sammy's theme, or really any of the Orange Star COs, or the incredibly relaxing tones of Hachi. But we might end up using Hachi sometimes too, because he seems about as overpowered as Sturm is. Anyway, if Sammy's going to be dropping a bunch of infantry on our island, we're probably going to want some recons, I imagine. And yeah, I'm not seeing any airports, so I don't think anti-air is going to come into the equation. Build 2? Why not? There. This force should be pretty good at holding our island, at least early on. Okay, now Sammy's building some more serious forces, which she can do because she starts off with almost twice as much stuff as us. But that's fine. There will be a delay before she can land all that on our island, just due to the fact that she has to load them on the transports first. No, not yet. Because this guy will be able to just start capping that immediately. I think it's more important that we deploy our guys farther south. And get these recons down there. So that we can counter infantry that she drops off very effectively. Now I think I'm going to save up for maybe some submarines, maybe some battleships. Because I think taking control of the sea will obviously shut our opponent down pretty effectively. If she can't get any forces from her island onto ours, then she can never defeat us. She did get 2 infantry onto that. I hadn't noticed that. I only saw the 1. Doesn't matter. I've got 2 recons coming down to ruin their day. So that's fine. Oh, wow, okay. Wouldn't have thought a recon could go through, Oh, it's because I'm Sturm! Right, that's one of Sturm's powers. Yeah, with movement costs of 1 across all terrain types. That's why my recons go through things other than roads so quickly. Well, that's just incredibly helpful. One of the many, many ways in which Sturm is overpowered. Bonk. You know, I might want even more infantry than this. There's so much stuff to capture. First a sub. And now we can afford more infantry. Now, I'm not going to be able to stop Sammy from landing some of those tanks and stuff on my island. I'm not going to be able to seize control of the waters that quickly, so I'm probably going to want to save up for maybe some medium tanks and the like to repel the next wave of her landing. Yeah, she's going all out. Okay, if you don't mind, Sammy, this island is mine. Allow me to escort you off the premises. It cuts me to the bone to make Sammy sad, but needs must. think I'll save up for a medium tank. I should make a priority of capturing this. That's fine, I'll just redirect this guy to grab that. And then I'll be able to build mediums where Sammy's likely to drop off a lot of forces. Quicker reinforcements that way. I'll be seizing those back soon enough. Oh, I just noticed you can see shadows of clouds moving across the landscape. It's very faint, which is probably why I took like 80-something episodes to notice it, but that's a neat little touch. I like it. Alright, time to repel this first invasion. Get out of here. Now she's not sad, now she's angry. There's gonna be a lot more anger before we're done here, Sammy. There we go. I should probably... I'll get the most benefit out of capturing these, because I'll simultaneously get a property for myself and deny Sammy a property. Which is basically twice as valuable as only getting a property for me. Yeah, this is going to be landing a couple of tough units. Well, a light tank and an artillery, relatively tough. So... I think it'll be faster to build a Neo-Tank here and then send it southward, rather than capping this and then building a Neo-Tank. I think that'll take more turns if I were to do that. So, Neo-Tank, ahoy. I did realize after the fact in my previous video, where I finally cleared Challenge Campaign Orange Star Mission 8 of Advance Wars 2, that when I built a medium in my winning run, I should have built a Neo-Tank, because then my victory would have been more certain than it was. I ended up winning anyway, but a Neo-Tank would have been tougher, and I'm not positive, but probably would have destroyed that pipe in 2 turns instead of 3. But the reason I made that mistake is because I had spent like 2 hours trying and failing to win that mission, constantly in a state of low funds, where I had to save up to afford a medium, let alone have enough money to afford a Neo-Tank. I'm starting to doubt that this is actually faster than it would have been building a Neo-Tank here, but whatever, I think it's comparable. So I just wasn't even in the mindset of thinking that I could afford a Neo-Tank at all. That just wasn't even on my mental radar. But that was indeed a mistake. It didn't end up being a fatal mistake, though. I don't think that would be a good matchup, no. These guys will just die to the artillery and the tank, but they'll delay long enough for my Neo-Tank to get down there, hopefully. And then the Neo-Tank will absolutely obliterate them. Especially given that it's a Sturm Neo-Tank versus Sammy vehicles, it'll be a slaughter. The tank might be provoked into going for that guy since he's capturing. But it doesn't matter, regardless of what it does. The Neo-Tank will get down there and wreck their faces soon enough. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to that at all. I'm an idiot. I'll give you that one, Sammy. That was stupidity on my part. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that she had built a cruiser. So that was just me being a moron. Or I guess, to be a little more fair to myself, it was me being inattentive. Which there's not really much of a difference in a game like this between inattentiveness and being a moron. Okay, this is taking longer than I thought. Neo-tanks are very slow. It actually would have been faster to build one here. But I mean, I can build one here this turn, so it's fine. I can and I will. Anyhow, this guy's been rendered basically useless, so he's going to retreat, dive, and repair. Might have overcooked the infantry a little. I don't actually need as many as I bought, I don't think. But that's fine. Yeah, I definitely... Well, yeah, I think I kind of overcooked it a little. But no big deal. You know what? You guys should probably attack the artillery instead. You'll be more effective. I don't have much more use for these APCs other than resupply and being distractions. There we go. I'll have secured this island soon enough. But I guess I'll save up some money for building stuff in my ports rather than spending anything right now. I am going to need a navy. Sometimes Sammy thinks very hard. And then does the same thing the CPU always does and tries to blow up the APC. Sammy, what are you even laughing at? I'm the one who's laughing, Sammy. It is interesting how sometimes the CPU takes so long to think it's like actually multiple seconds. Which in computer terms might as well be an eternity. I guess that's fair. It has a lot of possibilities to consider. I have written AIs for games like this. The war game that I've worked on and off for years. I actually got... I mean, I guess for now you'll just have to take my word for it. I actually wrote a pretty damned smart AI for a game very much like this, incredibly similar. Literally in a day. I'm not even kidding. I have high hopes of releasing a version of that game sometime. And if that ever comes to fruition, I'll be able to show that I'm not just blowing smoke. That I really did make what is a pretty good SRPG AI. And it's not even especially difficult, to be honest. With some relatively simple algorithms, you can get one to behave pretty intelligently. But I have found that the typical person isn't terribly interested in the details of game programming, so I won't really get too deep into that here. But maybe someday I will create videos that are kind of geared more toward the creation side of video games. Because, I mean, it's a subject near and dear to my heart, given that I'm a hobby game developer, and there is an audience for that, even though I think it is smaller than the generalized video gaming audience. I think even irregular infantry might be able to finish it off. It's so low on HP now. Yep. When you've only got a couple pixels worth of HP left, it doesn't take much. Anyway, we've pretty much secured the island. It's not going to take much to repel this landing and finish taking these cities. I'm almost getting the impression I might have really been able to win this with Clone Andy. It's not difficult so far. We'll see. We'll see. It might ramp up in difficulty. Playing as Sturm is a huge advantage. I'm definitely not doing this as a big challenge to myself. By using Sturm, I'm pretty much doing the opposite. Just taking one of the best possible COs. Still going for those APCs, eh, Sammy? You can flirtatiously wink at me all you want. And boom! Gotta love it. How well could we do here? Terribly. That said, I need to start spending some of this money. So let's get a battleship here and a lander here. Oh, that didn't go great. So in a matchup between recons and AAs, the AAs are much better. That much certainly seems to be the case. Do. Alright, looks like a good turn to me. I guess I should probably repair these APCs. Oh, here we go again. But with a couple of Neo-tanks... oh, she built a battleship of her own. With a couple Neo-tanks, it's not going to be difficult to repel these landings that she keeps attempting. Alright, anything in range of this? Is that worth it? Is it worth shooting that? Why not? No real harm in it. I do like the sort of pop-up turrets of the black hole battleships. That's pretty cool. Get out of here, you. This is my island. I'm going to want some heavier forces than just 2 Neo-tanks as well. Maybe I'll buy a third next turn. I'm not getting the impression this is going to be an especially difficult War Room map. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe taking her island will prove more difficult, though from what I'm seeing it doesn't look like it will. her big hope of victory would be a sneaky landing to capture my HQ in one turn with her super. But that would be extremely difficult to pull off on this map because there's no Fog of War, so I'd see it coming a mile away. I'd have to derp out pretty hard and just not be paying any attention at all for her to get away with it. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that couldn't happen. Sometimes my inattentiveness is pretty bad, but it's not super likely, is what I'm saying. I don't think she's likely to win that way. And against Sturm, she has basically zero chance of winning through conventional combat. Now, I don't want to just meaninglessly put my good units in range of the battleship. So, maybe some APC decoys for it to shoot at, and let's put our Neo-tanks out of its range. Oh! Oh, wow. That's gonna be unfortunate for our battleship. I guess I'm gonna want a cruiser this turn. Well played, Sammy. Speaking of inattentiveness, I wasn't paying attention when she built that. I would have noticed if I was paying attention, but I'm just kind of zoning out during her turns. I mean, I'm paying attention to when her landers are approaching my island, but that's about it. I should probably be taking this matchup a little more seriously than that, but I'm kind of not really. Well played, though, Sammy. Oh boy. Yeah, I knew it. Once again, Sammy, I'm the one who's laughing. Okay, thankfully we're Sturm, and Sammy's vehicular direct combat is quite poor, so that wasn't really that big a deal. It's not like she one-shotted it or anything. Alright. Nice. There. We'll go ahead and have that guy regen there on the city, and he should take a couple more hits from her battleship. I didn't even pay attention to what was in here, but get out of here. Loaded APC gets destroyed. And, oh wow. I guess a Sturm Neo tank can actually do reasonable damage against a lander. Most tanks don't, of course. Landers being pretty resistant to that. Alright, well, let's sink her submarine. I should probably surface my sub so it doesn't run out of fuel while it's waiting for the chance to use this port. There. If she has any more submarines, now we've got 2 cruisers to screen for them. And I've been wanting to build another Neo tank. There we go. Once we have 4 of them, we'll load them up onto our landers, and 4 Sturm Neo tanks will be able to wreak a lot of havoc on these forces. Once my submarine is repaired, I'll probably send it after this battleship. You can heal up here. I guess there's no reason to not repair you. And there we go.
Now it's my turn.
I question your use of your super now, Sammy. I don't see that it's going to do you much good.
Victory march.
But, you do you. Okay, sure. Oh, alright. Hey, her infantry might be able to finish it off. Well, he's only at 1 hit point, so probably not. Oh, yeah! I didn't even think about that. Hey, I survived! Look at me go. Although her cruiser is now within the attack range of my battleship, which is going to heal up to 8 hit points, so I'll be able to retaliate pretty well. Oh ho! That's good fun. Alright, well let's start out by attacking this cruiser. Haha, nice. And our cruisers will screen for submarines. I may lose that APC to her battleship next turn, but that's not a big deal, really. Oh, I don't have many APCs left, do I? Well, wait, yes I do. I have, like, all of them left. I just didn't see these. Inattentiveness strikes again. Anyway, that being the case, it's not going to matter. Even if I lose this one, because I'll have plenty more decoys for her battleship to attack. Alright, she landed a medium, which is relatively threatening. But a couple of Sturm Neo tanks will make quick work of that. Away with you. Okay. Should I use it now? She'd be able to repair all her stuff if I drop a meteor on it now. I almost feel like I should wait until I'm ready to attack and then drop my meteor rather than using it now. Now would probably be a little too premature, I think. Because she'd just repair everything. Oh, she built another sub. I actually noticed it this time. Thankfully, my cruisers are en route. Alright. I think that's a good enough turn. Okay, that's fine. You can have that little win there, Sammy. Enjoy. Have fun wasting your ammunition on my APCs. She's keeping me busy with all these landings. It's not really accomplishing a whole lot, but... You know, it really might be worth dropping my meteor after all, just to put her back on her heels a bit so she's not constantly doing these landings, which is making it harder for me to organize my own attack. Just to kind of seize the initiative a little.
Such power.
Let's be fair, Stern. She's not that powerful. Unless it's her cuteness we're talking about. Oh no! I didn't take that into account. No! That was the most valuable thing on the map. I didn't want it to fall there. I wanted it to fall here. Oh, that's the downside of it being auto-targeted. Wah wah. Bummer there. Oh well, what can you do? Get wrecked, you. Stupid phone. I'm gonna put it on Do Not Disturb. I wouldn't even have a cell phone if I didn't need it for work. I hate cell phones. Guess I'm a throwback. Is this light within range of a Neo? It is. Alright, what next? That's gonna tie up that port for quite a while. Should probably make another Neo tank, I reckon. Okay, as long as I have an APC in range of the battleship, we're all good. It is a shame you don't get to target that meteor yourself. I would have dropped it on that giant cluster of units there and not the battleship and submarine. But yeah, it's true. Those were the most valuable thing on the map within the AoE of a meteor. I didn't think about that. Caused it to fall not where I wanted. Which means we have to repel another landing now. It didn't do what I wanted it to do at all. Oh well. All that means is it's going to take us a little longer to achieve victory. Alright, you know what? Let's turn animations off to expedite this from this point forward. Screen for subs. Now, this not being a Fog War map, we can do this bit of cheesiness and not have to worry about losing fuel. Okay, so there's not a sub anywhere along these rows. Interesting. Oh, of course there isn't. It's back in port repairing. Derp. Come on, Dr. J, have some reasonable short-term memory, why don't you? That's the only thing in range of my battleship? Fine. I should start blowing up her landers with my battleship. That'll slow down her constant landings. I mean, yeah, I repel them easily, but it's just I want to start my own offensive and not just constantly have to repel my enemies. Okay, so now I've got 4 Neo tanks. I'll build a 5th. And I do have 3 landers, so I'll be able to drop 6 of... Or do I not? I thought I did. 1, 2... Didn't I have 3? Maybe it's 3 cruisers I had and not 3 landers. Well, that's silly. Alright, fine. There. Now I have 3 landers. Then I'll be able to instantly drop off 6 Neo tanks.
I'm unbeatable.
Are you using your super pointlessly again, Sammy?
Double time.
Or not even your super, just your regular. The point stands. It's not going to do you any good. But have fun. It's not like there really is a scenario where using your power or your super would do you a lot of good in this matchup, I don't think. Yeah, this really might have been a matchup where I could have won without too much trouble, even using Clone Andy, but oh well. Like I said, for the sake of getting all this done in a reasonable amount of time, I think just sticking with Sturm is not a bad decision. Oh. Congratulations, your 10% defense bonus caused me to have to use an infantry to finish off your APC. Well done. Oh. Wow, did I seriously unconsciously move that lander? Apparently so. Didn't even consciously remember doing that. I never grabbed this port. Brilliant. I've just been ignoring it all this time. More Dr. J inattentiveness at work. Alright, when that submarine comes out, we're going to be ready for it. Alright, well let's get ready to land on this, but let's not do it prematurely. Just in case she has another submarine that I didn't notice lurking somewhere. It would really suck to put 2 Neo-Tanks on a lander and then have it get sunk. So let's not tempt fate. Okay, so now I'm up to 5 Neo-Tanks. 1 more, and I think that'll be enough of a landing force. And then maybe I'll save up for more ships. Probably submarines. Hunters of the sea. It's a lot of infantry. Alright, let's start doing what I said we'd do with our battleship and start sinking those landers. And damaging some with a Neo-Tank. And another landing soundly repulsed. Gotta give her points for trying, I guess. It's taking forever for that submarine to repair. You know, it's taking so long. It's obviously going to be faster to just build another one. Probably should have done that a while ago. Oh, angry Sammy. Oh, there's her submarine. It has surfaced. Why she decided to surface it, I don't know. It shouldn't have fuel problems while it's in port. Let's just make good and sure that no matter where it goes, it's within range of my cruisers. Oh, I think her MLRS just attacked this cruiser over here. Well, that was rude. I guess you're gonna have to go back for repairs then. Oh, sorry, my battleship. Right, that's a battleship, not a cruiser. In my defense, as I've said before, black hole cruiser, black hole battleship, pretty darn similar looking at the zoomed out map level. Pretty similar looking, but yeah, I think I called that a cruiser several times, so that was derpy. I'm 200 short of affording another battleship. That's sad. Alright, well, you know what? It's time to start preparing landing of our own. I'm getting tired of being on the defensive all the time. And that being the case, I should probably ready another Neo-Tank on defense. These guys can get ready to load up as well.
Okay.
Muted myself there for a second to blow my nose. Sammy is suddenly seeming more upbeat all of a sudden. Suddenly, all of a sudden? The redundant department of redundancy has struck. But yeah, she went from being all enraged to all of a sudden, she's like, "Move out, troops!" Mood swings, man. There, get out of here. Her submarine has disappeared. Let's do some very cheesy scouting for it. Let's just make sure that's not costing us fuel. 61. Yeah, it doesn't cost you fuel when you're not on a Fog of War map. An incredibly cheesy way to screen for subs, but I'm pretty okay with it. Get out of here. Nine hit points is good enough. Because I want to repair my battleship. Okay, it's going to have to wait a turn to get back into port, I guess. Okay. Now, we may take a hit from that MLRS, but whatever. Can't be too timid. Got to attack eventually. Probably should have taken that port a very, very long time ago. That's just some derpage. It's probably not stop in range of that. We're doing okay fuel-wise. How about these guys? They're fine, too. Oof. 4 damage. Pretty nasty. I could blow up that battleship while it's in port, and I think I will. Okay, just goes to show how tough battleships are. We would take too much damage doing that, I think. Yeah, let's pull back and make them come to us. Hopefully they will. And we'll gain first strike advantage. Let's build another battleship before we put that one in port for repairs. Might as well sink this lander. Alright, we're taking the initiative, slowly but surely. Oh, right, you're not dead. Good grief. I should have used this guy. Derping again. I'm not really taking this match very seriously. I should take it more seriously than I am, for sure. Let's load up some infantry to start capping her properties. Oops, I didn't dive this guy, and he's probably going to get MLRS'd. Or the lander is, because I wasn't paying attention about that either. That MLRS is a pain. She has it parked in a good position. A lot of coverage from there. Of strategic map locations. Only 30, jeez. Okay, that's actually not in range of that thing. Well, I did land to invade, so we should start making our way over there. Our meteor's nearly charged. We're gonna have to wait a turn to drop off this lander, because here we would just get hit by too much stuff. Sure, let's get another Neo. We're now solidly in the our victory is eventually inevitable, but grinding down the enemy might take a while phase that we often find ourselves in.
Here I come.
Alright, alright. Arguably a downside of games like this.
Victory march.
I think that's common to basically every strategy game ever made, is that you can end up in this situation. Where, yeah, it's obvious that you're eventually going to win, but the enemy doesn't feel like surrendering and it's going to take forever to grind them down. Not sure I've ever played a strategy game where that situation never comes up. Maybe just an inherent flaw of the genre. I guess you could argue it's a little bit like the end game in chess, where, sure, you can reach a point where if you play correctly, your victory is inevitable, but you can also look at it as kind of a test of, hey, how are your end game skills? are you good enough to get this victory that should be inevitable if you play your cards right, kind of thing. Okay. Maybe I'll just wait a turn to unload that one. Arguably, I might benefit from having some more infantry at this point. Okay, I think this time, if I drop a meteor, it should land about here, where I want it.
Fear is all you have left.
Your feeling of helplessness is your best friend, savage.
Meteor strike.
Okay, there we go. That's where I wanted this time. Excellent. That pile of artillery was a potential problem. Now it won't be, really. Very nice. %. Okay, don't bother. That's fine. Go back for repairs and I'll just blow you all up. This is incredibly satisfying. It's a very cathartic explosion effect. Now, Sammy, watch and learn. This is how you perform a proper landing. Yeah, it's all very pro forma at this point. Let's see. Maybe another battleship. And another infantry. Actually... yeah, let's do this. Be aggressive. Not long now, I don't think. No, this is still an over hour-long episode.
No way!
Oh, it's Angry Sammy again. My sub's running low on fuel. But that's fine. Alright, let the slaughter begin. No mercy, not for anyone. That's the Dr. J way. Alright. A dude and, oops, didn't mean to drop it off there, but it doesn't really matter. And a Neo tank. Finish that thought. Sure, build another one, why not? We've got the money. Screw the rules, I have money. Not really the most applicable situation for that. Okay, suddenly Sammy's happy again. The mood swings, man. Not really the most applicable situation for that quote, considering I'm not in fact breaking the rules, but you know, it's just a fun quote. Sammy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. You're just trolling at this point. The battleship fleet moves down the coast. On the lookout for prey. I do feel like surface would make more sense than dive, or I mean, excuse me, rise. Dive makes sense. You do say submarines dive, but I feel like you say they surface more than you say they rise. But that's just pure nitpicking. Just picking nits. Alright, let's park on a factory so she can't build anything from it. I see you, MLRS. Alright, yeah, this is obviously in the bag. A few more turns and I think we will have achieved victory. Have we ever seen that line before? I'm not sure we have. That "stay cool everyone" while obviously panicking is kind of adorable. Oh wow, one of my Neo-Tanks is low on ammo. Oh, this is so brutal. Yeah, stay cool if you can. Might be a little hard under the circumstances. Oh, this lander's low on fuel. Oh well, pay no attention to that. Load up, man. Okay, not much longer now, I don't think.
Here I come.
Okay, sure. This'll save you, Sammy.
Victory mine.
Oh no, my sub. I guess it will make it a little more difficult to one-shot her infantry. Or everything, for that matter. 10% across-the-board defense bonus. Sammy, this is the definition of delaying the inevitable. Come on, you're a better sport than this. You're just pointlessly dragging it out. You know you've lost. Just capture her headquarters. If we have to, if it comes to that. Let's see what she builds this turn. No, Sammy. That's not true. There comes a point where surrender is the rational option. This is that point. We're well past that point. I admire your optimism, but we need to be realistic about the situation here. Okay, we did it. Good indeed. I contest that 83 power score. I blew up so much stuff. So much stuff. Aw, sad Sammy. Needs must. I hold back for no one. It would be disrespectful to my opponent if I did. Whew. That was a long one, wasn't it? Over an hour. I suspect most of these remaining War Room missions are probably going to be like that, so, buckle up, strap in, whatever other metaphor of your choice. There's a lot more Advance Wars to go, I reckon. Well, we want to be completionists about it, right? Alright, so next up is going to be Point Stormy. I'll see you then.